Good morning, everyone. For those of you who just tuned in, we're in Heard County, Georgia on a beautiful spring morning, April 19th, 2011. I have Darold Wiggens, County Engineer of Heard County with me. Darold, you are one of the pioneers down here in the Southeast. I know we're doing this all across America and across the world, this three-legged stool where we combine a pavement evaluation program and pavement preservation and asphalt recycling. I'm so excited that you joined us today, and in your words as the county engineer, you're about to save an armful of money by taking care of these roads and getting the crew out here to evaluate them. Can you give the listeners and the students just some indication as to what prompted you into going this direction, and maybe some advice for others that may be getting close to going in this direction?
Sure. We in the past, our maintenance program in the county has been to just resurface the roads once they got, in a bad condition, and we can't afford to do that anymore. We've got to find a better way. We've got to find a more efficient way to use our dollars. With the economy like it is, we just can't afford to go out and buy new asphalt, put down on top of a road that's in bad condition. So we're looking at other alternatives. And by evaluating our roads, seeing what condition that they're in, grading those roads tells us where to best spend our dollars. And instead of the resurfacing, we can look at hot in-place recycling or micro-surfacing or chip seal in some cases, or whatever the case may be, to save those dollars. And we're looking for anywhere from 25 to 50% savings in some cases. That being the case, instead of doing our regular 10 miles a year that we would do resurfacing, we hope we can get 20 or 30 miles a year, and that our roads will last just as long, just as good of quality.
Good. Well, I tell you what, Darold, and having had the crew out here for several weeks now, we think this is just a great way to get a handle on. We got 225 miles of roads and a bunch of gravel roads out here as well that you've got to maintain. Certainly your arms are full on a daily basis with other problems. You don't need to be worrying about what rating is Antioch Road and how are we going to repair it, and what year should we be repairing it in. I understand that the crew is giving you a top 10 list of things too as they're out here. I guess that's a big benefit to having an on-the-ground survey crew as opposed to the different methods.
Yeah, well, having an on-the-ground crew, it obviously is going to make the evaluation more accurate. And then the top 10 list coming behind the evaluation crew tells us what we need to do to prepare our roads before we turn out for bid for whatever process needs to be done.
Great. And I guess the big benefit here is that depending on how the funds are coming in at the county level, you don't feel the urge to let a $1 million contract for asphalt resurfacing per se. You could dribble it out 3 or 4 times in the course of the year, whether it's a microsurface, a cape seal, a chip seal. You're going to grab all the necessary tools in the toolbox and do as you see fit, I take it.
Well, that's right. I mean, in the past, that's exactly what we did is, would be one contract to cover 10 miles, which was, $1 million. And in this way, we can segment out the places that we need to do the repairs, and that's different types of processes. It's not the same thing, so we can let smaller contracts and accomplish more with it.
Well, and what I particularly like about your program too, Darold, is you've taken the initiative. You've got your own chip spreader, your own tack wagon. You can do the in-place zipper type repairs with the soil cement base for the deep patching and such. And I'm particularly impressed with the fact that you've done a lot of crack filling on roads just like Antioch Road, and you've preserved them. So as we're evaluating them, this particular stretch that Evan and I just did is an 81 on overall average. So kudos to you and the county for having such an active pavement preservation program. That really goes a long way with the overall savings down the road, Darold.
I guess the bottom line is what we want to come out of here is obviously saving the money, but at the same time, we hope to come out of this with a 6 to 10 year plan that the public will be able to look at and we'll know what we're going to do for years to come and what the priorities are.
Great news. Well, to all the students and the other county engineers out there, what advice do you have for them if they're thinking about getting into the system, or if they're having a hard time convincing their commission to do things a little differently?
Well, you know, I think everybody's in the same situation. Everybody's got to figure out how to do more with less. And, you know, the dollars just aren't there that used to be. So you've got to come up with different alternatives. And I suggest you get in contact with Blair or his company, attend some of these classes, educate yourself on these different processes, and you know, I think you'll come up with the same conclusion and make a decision for yourself.
Great news, Darold. Well, I'm sure glad to be out here today with you in Heard County and looking forward to saving you a pot full of money. Thanks for joining us today.